Hello there. Welcome to Tales by Vivo. Today's story is titled The Forest Bride. There was once a farmer who had 3 sons. One day when the boys were grown, he said to them, "My sons, it is high time that you were all married. Tomorrow I want you to go out in search of brides." "But where shall we go?" the oldest son asked. "I have thought of that too," the father said. "Each of you chop down a tree and then go the direction in which the fallen tree points. I'm sure that each of you, if you go far enough in that direction, will find a suitable bride." So the next day, the 3 sons chopped down trees. The oldest son's tree fell pointing north. "That suits me," he said, for he knew that to the north lay a farm where a very pretty girl lived. The tree of the second son, when it fell, pointed south. "That suits me," the second son declared, thinking of a girl that he had often danced with who lived on a farm to the south. The youngest son's tree, the youngest son's name was Veikko. When it fell, pointed straight to the forest. "Ha ha!" the older brothers laughed. "Veikko will have to go courting one of the wolf girls or one of the foxes." They meant by this that only animals lived in the forest, and they thought they were making a good joke at Veikko's expense. But Veikko said he was perfectly willing to take his chances and go where his tree pointed. The older brothers went gaily off and presented their suits to the 2 farmers whose daughters they admired. Veikko, too, started off with brave front. But after he had gone some distance in the forest, his courage began to ebb. "How can I find a bride?" he asked himself, "in a place where there are no human creatures at all?" Just then he came to a little hut. He pushed open the door and went in. It was empty. To be sure, there was a little mouse sitting on the table, daintily combing her whiskers, but a mouse, of course, doesn't count. "There's nobody here," Veikko said aloud. The little mouse paused in her toilet and, turning towards him, said reproachfully, "Why, Veikko, I'm here." "But you don't count. You're only a mouse." "Of course I count," the little mouse declared. "But tell me, what were you hoping to find?" "I was hoping to find a sweetheart." The little mouse questioned him further, and Veikko told her the whole story of his brothers and the trees. "The 2 older ones are finding sweethearts easily enough," Veikko said, "but I don't see how I can off here in the forest, and it will shame me to have to go home and confess that I alone have failed." "See here, Veikko," the little mouse said. "Why don't you take me for your sweetheart?" Veikko laughed heartily. "But you're only a mouse. Whoever heard of a man having a mouse for a sweetheart?" The mouse shook her little head solemnly. "Take my word for it, Veikko. You could do much worse than have me for a sweetheart. Even if I am only a mouse, I can love you and be true to you." She was a dear, dainty little mouse, and as she sat looking up at Veikko with her little paws under her chin and her bright little eyes sparkling, Veikko liked her more and more. Then she sang Veikko a pretty little song, and the song cheered him so much that he forgot his disappointment at not finding a human sweetheart. And as he left her to go home, he said, "Very well, little mouse. I'll take you for my sweetheart." At that, the mouse made little squeaks of delight, and she told him that she'd be true to him and wait for him no matter how long he was in returning. Well, the older brothers, when they got home, boasted loudly about their sweethearts. "Mine," said the oldest, "has the rosiest, reddest cheeks you ever saw." "And mine," the second announced, "has long yellow hair." Veikko said nothing. "What's the matter, Veikko?" the older brothers asked him, laughing. "Has your sweetheart pretty pointed ears or sharp white teeth?" You see, they were still having their little joke about foxes and wolves. "You needn't laugh," Veikko said. "I've found a sweetheart. She's a gentle, dainty little thing gowned in velvet." "Gowned in velvet," echoed the oldest brother with a frown. "Just like a princess," The second brother sneered. Yes, Veikko repeated, gowned in velvet like a princess. And when she sits up and sings to me, I'm perfectly happy. Huh, grunted the older brothers, not at all pleased that Veikko should have so grand a sweetheart. Well, said the old farmer after a few days, now I should like to know what those sweethearts of yours are able to do. Have them each bake me a loaf of bread so that I can see whether they're good housewives. Mine will be able to bake bread, I'm sure of that, the oldest brother declared boastfully. So will mine, chorused the second brother. Veikko was silent. What about the princess? They said with a laugh. Do you think the princess can bake bread? I don't know, Veikko answered truthfully. I'll have to ask her. Of course, he had no reason for believing that the little mouse could bake bread, and by the time he reached the hut in the forest, he was feeling sad and discouraged. If you enjoyed that, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more adventures just like this. Got a favorite moment? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next story.